in a world filled with tabletop roleplay games.
I'm gonna hand her a big, juicy onion. It's good for health.
Bounce, 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 bounce. You won't have cat for dinner.
Pride, get up. We're moving.
And now the fire has an initiative.
Power Word Crit is an actual play RPG podcast with plenty of puns, pigeon bears, and plucky personalities. We are a podcast focused on having fun, crisp audio, clean content, and trying out all sorts of systems, including 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons, Monster of the Week, and many more to come. Check us out and be involved in our adventures. Whether you're looking for a high fantasy romp or a paranormal investigation, we've got you covered. Find Power Word Crit at powerwordcrit.com, YouTube, or all major podcast platforms.
You are listening to Tomes of the Chaos Bard. Welcome, Tomies, to Tomes of the Chaos Bard. I am not your DM, but to my left I have DM Dave,
Henley,
Boudreaux,
Lila Garatha,
Roscoe,
and Fenrir.
Thanks, Fenrir, for that introduction. We will turn the time over to Roscoe, who has our recap.
All right. So there was a lot of talking. We met Natlynn, who is part of the bandits down in front of the door that is holding the miners. And we're getting ready to interrogate the archer. And she's going to potentially help us save everybody in the cave, including the person that we came here to stop, who is about to be betrayed by the person that replaced Natlynn. It's kind of a hot mess, but we'll get it figured out.
hot mess.
Hot. The hottest of messes.
Hot-blooded. Check in and
Somebody's
see.
butt is about to get hot. Let's just say
This
that.
knife is about 100 degrees.
Okay, so we will start off in the interrogation room. There's a torch lit by the door, and the torch that Natlynn has in her hand. Roscoe, are you still standing by the archer?
So I will have moved back behind Natlynn.
Okay.
Unsure of what's happening, but at this point trying to keep to my word of not interfering. However, I do think I'm going to quietly pull out my glaive in condensed sword form.
Okay.
And kind of just keep it at the ready in case I need to intervene, because although this guy, is a bad guy, I'm still not 100% on board with, senseless pain and torture and murder and stuff.
Okay. Perfect. So Natlynn, still holding the knife over the torch. Her dagger just slowly tossing it back and forth, flipping it end over, one side of the blade to the other side of the blade. And she walks behind the archer. And you see her just quietly still doing it. And she takes her blade and looks, and she sets it kind of right on the back of the chair and close to the back of his neck. And you can see him kind of wince a little bit, and you see she still has the torch, so you can see a little smoke coming off the chair. And she picks it back up and puts it back over the flames, and leans into him, kind of over him on his shoulder where she put that dagger. And she's like, "We need some information about this cloth des that you serve. And we can do this in multiple ways, but we will get our answers. So," and she puts that blade a little closer, takes it off the flames and puts it a little closer to his neck, and you can kind of see him pull away a bit. She's like, "So, how this is going to go is you're going to play nice. And you're going to give me the information that I want. Or we're going to you're going to get some new marks. So, my first question, and she walks around to his front, and she's kind of in your line of sight between him and her. Yes.
Can I roll for like a perception to see if I think that she would actually go that far, or if this is more of just kind of an intimidation, if I can kind of get a read on that?
You roll an insight check.
Insight. That is an 11.
Okay. You probably have no doubt that she's being serious, that she would inflict harm in this. The way she's doing things, there's no hesitation to any of her actions. You'd be able to tell that pretty easy.
Would I be able to tell if she intends to inflict harm regardless, or just if she's not getting answers?
I think with that roll, it's uncertain. But there is that in your mind that it's very possible. The way she's acting, the way she's holding herself, and her threatening demeanor. So she stands before him still with that torch and her dagger going over the flames. And she asks, "So, tell me, how long have you been working with this Cloth Des?" "I've been working with him for about 5 years now." Good, good. "And who is this Cloth Des? What is his kind of goals in life? Why is he here?" "Well, he came down here because he was hired. I don't know who hired him, but I know it's a man or woman. I believe it's a code name of Iron Will." Iron Will. And who does this Iron Will work for? I don't know. That is all the information I know about that." And she takes the blade off and gets it like super close to his cheek. And she's like, "Are you sure?" And he like pulls away. He's like, I am certain. That I promise. That's all I know about that. I don't know who this Iron Will is. I just know that we work with this person a lot. And she takes that dagger away from his cheek, puts it back over the flame, and she starts walking around him again. And she gets kind of behind him, and she goes, "So what is his goals? What drives him?" And he's like, "Well, money, fame, just like the rest of us. We just want our cut." And you see her nod her head as she continues walking around. And this whole time she's dagger over the flame, getting the blade closer to him as she asks questions. All those kind of intimidating things. "And why is he here? Is he here on behalf of this Iron Will?" And you can tell that he's thinking for a second. And you see Natlynn kind of look at him, pull the dagger off. She's standing in front of him, and she kind of just takes the dagger off the flame, and you see his eyes get big. He's like, "I am not 100% sure. There is claim that he's here for Iron Will, but what? He has not been the same. Same what? About 6 months ago, We had a job up in the Half Pine Woods, up near that halfling place up there. I don't remember what it's called.
Mapleshire?
Yes, that's the place. We went up there for a job, and we got separated. We got attacked by some beast monster thing up there. I've never seen anything like it before. But we got separated, and when we went back to camp to wait for everybody to get back, he came back, but then he was with this sorcerer guy. Who is this sorcerer guy? I don't know. He doesn't show his face. And I'm assuming it's a man. He's always has a hood on. But his eyes. You can see his eyes glowing from underneath there. And this guy with the eyes, he's here. We're assuming that he's the one that brought us here, and claims that it was Iron Will's deal to come here to stab Marlowe in the back and take the Enterprise from them. So what is the interest of this Enterprise? From my understanding, it's Marlowe's father, which was stolen by Mendrick, and Marlowe wants it back. Why would your employer want that Enterprise? I don't know. I'm just here to make some gold, make some silver. That's all I'm here for. I don't question my orders. Yes, you don't question your orders. Good. But I'm sure you are curious. So I'm going to ask you again. Who is this, or why is this company so important? I do not know. I just know, according to this Crazy Eyes guy, and according to Cloth, it's important. I don't know why. Whether it's money, maybe it's trying to take over competition. I don't know. Let's get back to this Eyes guy. What is his purpose? You called him a sorcerer earlier. Is he magical? Does he possess magic? Yes, he does possess magic. And he's going back up to the Mapleshire. He looks at you. In the woods up there. When Cloth Des came out of the woods with this Eyes guy, he also came with those two scarecrows. And I believe those scarecrows are these sorcerers. Do you know anything about these scarecrows? I know they're just not to be messed with. I've seen what they could do. Oh? And what can they do? Enlighten me. Well, I know one of them fancies the ice magic. And I know the other one fancies the flames. And I know that they have some wards on them that make them very difficult to damage. Normal weapons would not work against them. And them being scarecrows, you would think that flames would be important against them, but they seem to shrug it off. And that when the victim that they have is close to death, they seem to suck the life out of the victim. Interesting. And do you know of any weaknesses? No, I don't. That's all I know about the scarecrows. And she gets that blade really close to his cheek again, and gives him kind of a. And she's behind him with the cheek, with that blade against the cheek.
Since she's behind him, and I've been kind of standing at the back of the room watching, can I, like, to just, I guess, roll to see if I feel like he's saying everything that he knows, or if he's intentionally holding something out but giving enough to be passable?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a insight check.
It's an 8.
You have no reason to believe he's not giving you all the information. Especially with the blade there, you know. And he's like, yes, that's all I know. She takes the blade away, still bringing it over the torch and stuff. And she looks up over at you. Do you have any questions for our friend here?
Yes, I do.
And she gestures towards, and she walks back to kind of where you were standing, but she's still with that blade just staring him down.
So I'm gonna put my weapon away.
Okay.
And walk up, I'll try to not look super intimidating. And be like, first thing I'm gonna ask is, I'm gonna look at him and be like, have you overheard or seen or even heard rumors of anything that can help us with these scarecrows?
I have the information that I gave you is all the information I have.
Okay.
Or gave her.
Okay. Do you have any other information regarding what's happening up near Mapleshire and in that forest up there?
The one thing that I know is that there's strange monsters up there. Some that I haven't even seen before. The creature that we ran into, it seemed like an overgrown vulture. A massive vulture that probably stood about 10 feet tall. But it also was, as strange as it sounds, it was scaly as well. Almost that of a dragonborn.
Interesting. Did you see any other creatures up there?
We didn't go in much deeper than that. Once we ran into that thing, we didn't bother continuing on.
Right.
But this creature was nothing that we've ever seen before. It wasn't animalistic at all. It was almost demonic. It had runes carved into its skin. We lost a lot of good men that day.
Did you manage to kill the beast?
No.
Did you recognize any of the runes?
I know nothing of this rune stuff.
Do you remember what any of them looked like, where you could redraw the shapes for me?
I don't.
Is there anything else you can tell us in regards to Cloth Des and the people that he's got up there with him that could help us?
He kind of like looks over to Natlynn, and you see Natlynn, like as you glance back and see Natlynn, you can see that she's pulled her knife away from the flame, and I was like just almost getting ready to stand up. And he's like, I know that one of our main purposes up at Mapleshire, up in the Half Pine Woods, is that Cloth Des is looking for someone. He's looking for somebody, and if we are able to find him, that we could possibly take him back to Dengal, and Cloth Des could possibly receive a pardon.
Who is he looking for?
He's looking for the son of the king, King Pilate. And if he can return him, he's hoping that he could get some kind of pardon so he could get the church off his back.
Do you know what he did to be kicked out of his order?
I know he stole a lot from his order, and that he has kind of taken some of the top troops, because in Dengal, most of the leaders of the army are paladins.
Right.
And he took some of them, and they went raiding and pillaging, and stole some artifacts from the church as well.
And do you know if he still has all of his paladin capabilities?
I'm not one to test it, but I have seen him use it, so I'm guessing he still has it all.
And do you know how many people are up there
Up where?
with Cloth Des right now?
I know he has him. There's about 10 of them there.
And then I'll just look back at Natlynn and turn him back over to her.
And she nods and she just walks out the door, is what she does. She seems satisfied with the information she has.
Okay, so I'm gonna, now that she's walked out the door, I'm gonna turn back to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna look him square in the eyeballs, because we're probably about eye level with him sitting down.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, thank you for your cooperation. And I have every intention of letting you walk out of here when we're done with everything. If there's anything else you can tell me now with her not in the room, because I know she scares you, now would be the time. Because we're going up against a lot, and any information you have, I would appreciate.
He takes a deep breath, and he's like, I know Cloth Des is not the same from when he left the woods up there. His ambitions have changed. His desires have changed. He's more interested in finding magical artifacts than doing work for this iron will. I don't think he is Cloth Des.
Like he's been possessed, or like it's not him and someone is dressing up as him?
We've had a few people question that, and they are no longer with us. So my theory is he's the same, but I know Benny questioned it. Benny knows him the best. Knew him the best. And he was pretty positive that it wasn't Cloth Des. But he wasn't going to question it. Because you don't question Cloth Des.
I'm gonna pat him on the head, sit tight, and if we make it out of this alive, so will you.
Okay.
And walk out there. Just be like, I'll send some cheese.
Boudreaux, he needs some cheese. Any special requests for a design of cheese? Okay. You see Natlynn and Roscoe come out. The group of you. What is it? If you guys wanted to do something in between they were investigating, you may, or we can go to this point. Okay? Natlynn and Roscoe walk in. What do you guys want to do?
I suppose we wait for them to talk to us.
How far ahead? I mean, obviously she was ahead of me. Could I have caught up to her?
Yeah.
Prior to going back?
She kind of waited by the door. She didn't hear what you said, but she was waiting by the door. Maybe like 10 feet from the door because she realized she didn't follow, and so she turned around to see what was going on.
So on our way up, before we get back,
Okay.
I just would like to, I want to have a short conversation with her kind of about the information that we received. And mostly I want to talk to her about what she thinks about this cloth des not being cloth des.
Okay.
So as we're walking, I'll look at her and be like, what do you make of this information? And especially with this cloth des not being, or rumor has it he's not actually cloth des.
Well, if he's not this cloth des, then I think you guys have a chance. Because according to the rumors, cloth des is very powerful. And being a paladin makes him that much more powerful.
Ugh, yeah.
So if he's not this cloth des, then he probably doesn't have his paladin powers. So I don't think you have anything to worry about there. My concern is that sorcerer that's with them.
Right.
Because they can range from mere people that perform in pubs and taverns to very dangerous necromancers.
And he said that sorcerer was up there with cloth des, right?
Yes.
You suppose if we took out the sorcerer, it would deactivate or stop the scarecrows from operating? Because didn't he say he got the scarecrows from the sorcerer?
From what I understand, he said that he got the scarecrows came with the sorcerer. So whether the sorcerer created them or not, I don't know. But most things with the sorcerers and magic people that I've dealt with, normally you take them out, and all their magical effects go with them.
And their stuff ends.
Depending on what spell they cast on you, of course.
Right. Yeah. That's the hard part. How are you feeling still about this whole fight?
We'll do our part. You guys take care of Marlowe. To keep myself and my crew, because we have had to deal with cloth des, my employer has, and I don't want to break of any of that. That's why I'm going to take care of the scarecrows for you. You save Marlowe. You keep him safe. We won't have any issues.
You said your deal was with cloth des, right?
Marlowe's deal with cloth des. I don't necessarily have a deal, but by proxy I do, because Marlowe is my employer.
But if this guy isn't cloth des, then technically you don't have a deal with that guy up there.
If he isn't cloth des, then you'd be right.
Just something to think about.
I'm not going to risk it.
I don't blame you. And we'll just kind of small talk and discuss stuff as we go back.
Okay. And she'll go, so we still have that deal then?
And I don't think we have another choice.
She nods.
It's like, I can't take all of them on. You've seen my team in there. They're a great team, but we can't take on 2 scarecrows, a fake paladin, a sorcerer, and whoever else is up there.
I'm offended.
Me too.
I didn't say you guys weren't great. I don't know that we could take on 2 scarecrows, a fake paladin, a sorcerer, and whatever else is up there.
Me and my alligator hood can take on anything.
Is Kundes going to come down and fight by our side?
He always does. What's wrong with you, man?
He's got to collect the souls. Duh.
Oh.
It's true.
Okay.
It's got to
He
remake
doesn't collect them. They're reincarnated.
He's got to recycle them.
Yeah.
Well, then I will be off. I will gather I'll go back to my crew. We'll rest for the night, and we'll be on our way in the morning.
Okay. And I think we'll do the same. And so hopefully, if we time it right, we can both reach our targets about the same time. Okay.
How long do you think it'll take you to get through this back way? Fenrir mentioned something about that.
Yes. So I'm going to pull out my magic map card
Of course you would.
and ask Google Google Maps how long it'll take to get there.
Welcome to Tomes of the Chaos Bard mid-show break. I'm your host, Rupert Bumpkin, from the Rocky Talkie Gnome Radio Network. First item of business is the 5-star reviews. Remember that Solemn will give you a shout-out and read your review on Solemn's column. Then he will review your review. It's great fun. Second is the Ko-Fi. This is our Patreon merchandise store. You can purchase keychains, coloring pages, and MP3s of our songs. You can also commission to feed the cast, or write a letter to Dear Boudreaux. If you are interested in becoming a patron, there are 3 tiers, each with varying rewards, including a full post show, DM Dave's deep dives, and coloring activity book with exclusive art. Go to ko-fi.com/Tomes of the Chaos Bard. That is Ko-Fi, ko-fi.com/Tomes of the Chaos Bard, and help us grow. And last but not least, the biggest way you can help us is share us with your friends and family. That is all, folks. Back to the show.
Ask Google Google Maps how long it'll take to get there.
It says it'll take you about 4 days.
What?
The back way?
The back way.
Thought we were a lot closer than that.
What about the other way?
Yeah, what about the other way?
The front way, going through the scarecrows,
Yeah.
it'll take 2. Remember, Juna gave you 7 days to do that. You've already traveled 3 days
Right.
there. And your map said you could get there in those 7 days.
Right. According to this fancy piece of magicry, it'll take us 3 to 4 more days.
Then I'll be waiting.
Okay. So, at first light on the 3rd day, look to the east.
And what am I supposed to see?
I don't know. Look in the cave and see if you can hear us making noise.
She just shakes her head. And she walks away. The group sees Natlynn just walk past the opening to where you guys are and continues on down the hall. And here comes Roscoe around the corner.
Giggling a little bit. So we'll walk in. I'll walk in.
Okay.
And I'll, huddle up and say, Boudreaux, you're going to need to drop some food off with the archer friend. He's hanging out in the room up the hall. And he's going to stay there until we're done. He's going to need some food.
Why don't we just log him in a pantry?
We could do that.
There's no doors to the pantry.
That's why we don't do that. There's no
only
doors.
a door to the barracks. And it's not a very good door either.
Oh.
And then I will proceed to relay the information, starting with, first and foremost, Cloth Des might not actually be Cloth Des, but a Cloth Des in disguise. A lot of people around here have been saying that he's not the same, he's been acting different, his priorities have shifted, and anyone who's really questioned him and his integrity and whether or not, hey, are you actually Cloth Des, have gone disappearing and gone poof. There's a sorcerer up there with them.
Oh, no.
Sorcerer brought the scarecrows, though. So I'm wondering if we could take out the sorcerer fast enough that might disable the scarecrows, and then Natlynn might sneak in from that direction.
You see Boudreaux setting up a pot and wanting to light a fire.
Cool. Go for it, Boudreaux.
Okay, cool.
Make us some soup.
Oh, no, he wasn't asking. That's what he's doing.
Okay. I am concerned about my hometown, though. And I think whether or not we all go, I am going that direction after this is taken care of. There is something happening up there that does not make any sense.
Would you say there's a mystery afoot?
Yes. There's a riddle that needs to be solved in the dark. So Gorbin, the archer, said that about 6 months ago they had gone up to Mapleshire for a job in the Half Pine Woods. and they got separated, and Clothes came out, and he was different, and the sorcerer came out of the woods with him and had the scarecrows, and something about running into a 10-foot vulture-looking, dragon-born, rune-inscribed creature. So...
That sounds terrifying.
It absolutely does, and Mapleshire was not built to defend itself. So when we wrap up here, if you guys come with me, great. If not, I'm going home. Because I can't let whatever...
Wait, you going home?
I can't let a 10-foot vulture-looking, dragon-born, room-inscribed creature terrorize my town.
But what about my family?
Aren't we going to go up that way
going
anyways?
that direction anyways. So, I mean, like...
Our horses are in Mapleshire.
Donkeys in Mapleshire.
But, Jakey?
I think the plan is to at least meet up with them or get information from them in the route between A and B.
Which is?
We're going to meet them in High Ridge.
Oh, yeah?
Which is on the way to Mapleshire.
Well, that's good, that's good. So then second question, do I boil the peanuts or do I not?
Yes, boil them.
Okay, thank you.
At this point, Fenrir would like to go talk to Gorbin.
Was there anything else, Roscoe?
Nah, sorcerer has crazy eyes.
Did they say if Clothes was working for anyone, or is he a solo act?
So he's been kind of working for this guy named Iron Will.
Henley's face goes white.
And do you know Iron Will? Question mark.
No. Mm-mm.
Can I roll on that? With how white she went?
I don't think you need to roll.
I would have, if you guys want to, because I don't necessarily like the player versus player thing, but if you guys are okay with this, I'll have Henley roll at disadvantage for deception.
Henley doesn't know who Iron Will is.
You do recognize the name, though.
Yeah, but they didn't ask that.
It's in your father's journal.
Yes, I know that.
So in other words, you're not really covering, right?
She's not lying. She doesn't know who he is, but she does know who he works for.
No, I mean, he doesn't need to roll, because you can tell.
Yeah, she's not lying.
Okay, but it's obvious that you're hiding something. And
that
that's what Roscoe
something.
is.
Yeah.
That name triggered
Yes,
something.
and so that's what Roscoe is trying to get to.
Can I, be handing Fenny some food that's not cheese to take in with him if he's going to go talk to the archer and be like,
Doesn't need to be constipated while he's sitting
Henley,
down.
what's wrong with your face?
You could have caught him, seeing him wander off. I don't know how sneaky you're being.
I want to be fairly sneaky.
Okay.
What? Just
Medium
take some food in with
sneaky.
you, whatever. I don't care.
But if you want to, I mean, you can say that you've seen me, it's fine. And I'll take the food.
Yeah, sneak in some apples or something that's not cheese.
I'll take him some
Apples
apples,
and cheese,
give him a
that's
ration or two, and then head in there. Although, yeah,
I wasn't going to stop you. Just take this with you.
okay, he'll
I
take
think
it.
if Roscoe just looks at Henley, she'll probably elaborate.
I mean, I'm looking pretty intensely because I'm like,
I don't know who Iron Will is, but I do know who Iron Will works for.
who does he work for?
If I tell you, your life will be at risk.
My life is already at risk.
I
homie.
mean, dangerously at risk. More than, no.
If these guys are involved with whatever is happening up around Mapleshire, I need to know.
I don't... They're everywhere.
Are they the Shadow Legion?
I hesitate to tell you because they're very dangerous.
So what if you tell just me? and we step off to the corner. But if Cloth Des is working for this guy, and this other guy is working for these guys, and they work with Iron Hill, who works for someone else, and all this crap is happening up around my hometown.
They killed my father.
I'm going to kind of stop and be like...
Because he was finding out information.
Then shouldn't we continue to find out the information?
I am.
Then let us help you.
No.
Because we're all part of the same team. We're all part of the same family.
I don't want you all to get hurt.
We're going to get hurt one way or another. And if we're with you and you're finding out this information and we're not prepared for it, then we can't be there to help you fight it off.
I don't want this to be like the fort all over again.
It won't be.
It will
we're
be.
All on the same page. We're all on the same team.
Henley, how are we all supposed to be on the same team if you don't even trust your team?
I trust you.
No. If you really trusted us,
you would have
told him already.
I don't want you all to get hurt.
We're gonna die anyways. What's the matter?
Going
The
up
likelihood
against a
of us
freaking
actually getting out of
sorcerer.
here. Likelihood of us actually getting out of here is very slim. Let's be honest. I almost died back there. What's it one more person to take to a grave?
I understand your hesitation. I do. But I need you to look at it from my side of things, where my family is potentially endangered with whatever is going on. And if these guys are involved and you have information that I can use to help, and you withhold that from me, and my family gets hurt because of it, what am I supposed to do?
Okay.
I'll give you a cup of peach mead if it helps.
No.
You still have some?
I have a brewer's kit, yo. I can make some.
You see
we have peaches?
Boudreaux with a mortar and pestle now, and he's crunching up the peanuts.
I want you
Making some peanut butter. He's like, what?
to trust us to be able to help you in this situation, because it's larger than just you now. And it's affecting more than just you. And as good as you are, and you're awesome, and you're great, I don't think you can take this on alone.
Henley nods.
We're your family now. And we need to act like a family and trust each other.
Okay.
Yeah, just like these peanuts, we gotta get out of the shell.
As you're crunchy,
Well, they're soft now. I boiled them.
You just crushed those peanuts.
Making peanut butters.
Now he's spooning it into a bag now.
Why are you spinning into a bag?
For later.
Butter to go, yo.
Okay. Iron Will works for an organization called the Hidden Hand. And they are a group of people. There used to be 7 of them. There's only 5 now. But they do deals in slavery, blackmail. They've done forced servitude in mines, housing, construction, farming. They're a huge, as far as I understand, underground network that do black hand dealings all over Keleth. And they're very good at hiding what they do. A lot of them are, what I've come to understand, are merchants, wealthy, nobles. The list could go on and on.
Henley, if you knew this, and you know some of our connections, why didn't you just ask us for help to begin with? I mean, there's 2 of us up in here, and both of our families are in the know with the nobles. Not that we necessarily have to, I don't know, get families involved, but they have connections that could have helped you along the way.
Because No one knows that I know that they thought my dad's journal with all this information was destroyed, but it wasn't. My dad gave it to me before he died. Before he was killed by one of the Hidden Hand.
It kind of fits the puzzle a little bit here, though. Because Cloth Des was sent here to kill Marlowe and take control of the mines in the town.
Well, just the business, I thought.
Well, right, the business, but the business involves the mine in the town.
I do know for sure that one of them is very interested in the mines. In my dad's notes, he believed that the Asher mines down south were operated by a Hidden Hand member.
So that's why they want to take the mines.
You're not in here, bruh.
Yeah, I am.
I thought you said you
Yeah, you left.
Well, as soon
He's
as
like,
you...
I'm missing juicy stuff.
Well, so here's what I picture Fenrir doing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like,
please explain, because last thing
I'm taking
like,
the food as, like, I hear the iron will as I'm walking out the door, and then all of a sudden, like, I hear Henley, like, kind of hear the fear in your voice about the iron will.
Mm-hmm.
And then at that spot, I just kind of stop at the front and just start listening.
Because
And
you
I
remember,
slowly kind of creep back.
because you remember that conversation came up with Natlynn and Oscar down yonder. So this is the second time you've heard about this iron will.
Right.
Yes.
And so hearing that again, it was like, oh, wait, I need to stop what I'm doing.
Okay, that's fine.
Now you hear a bag of rice being poured into some water.
Okay, anyways, back to Fenrir's
a
question.
bag of rice, huh?
A whole bag.
Oh.
The Hidden Hand wants Mendrick's company so they can continue to grow and operate in the shadows,
Most likely,
right?
yeah.
It's another front.
Yes. You, Roscoe, might know. Do you remember Dale?
Yeah.
He was a member of the Hidden Hand.
Gasp.
Do you say gasp?
I do.
His code name was the Stockman. I know he's dead. The previous adventurers in the town killed him, and I also know that the Collector is dead.
Do you have an actual name for the collector?
Valum. And her name, like, that name is a little bit bitter on her tongue.
Something hinky's afoot, guys. Dave's over there giving us the evil grin.
All right, well, whatever
I'm excited
this is.
things are coming together. Like, that's what I'm excited about.
I'm so excited.
Puzzles are coming together.
Hey, my food's coming together too.
Your food's coming together.
Guys, as exciting as this is, I'm exhausted.
Yes, it is very late.
We need a full rest for our next 4 days.
Now you see Boudreaux chopping up some ham.
Boudreaux, where are you getting this from?
We're
The
in a
pantry.
They didn't have a full pig in here. Where are you getting that from?
It's jerky.
You okay.
I'm sorry.
It's
jerky.
It's your It's jerky. Okay.
Hey, I'm
So
gonna
I'm
just
gonna-
be a lot more tired than I thought I was. I thought I just had a real high pitched voice there for a second.
I'm gonna, walk up to Henley,
Okay.
tippy toe, reach the sky, put a hand on her shoulder. Because how tall are you?
She's 5'10".
Okay, yeah, so that's about right. I'll be like,
She looks like, what are you doing?
we got you, okay? We're all involved in this mess now anyways, even if we didn't want to be. So let's stay on the same page and we'll figure this out. And we can help finish what your dad started, because it's all intertwined with what we're doing now. Anyways.
Boudreaux takes his thumb and sticks something in your mouth. Would that taste good? It's kind of spicy.
It's kind of spicy.
Oh, sorry. Should I roll it down?
Yeah.
And then Boudreaux rolls his eyes. And then
Oh, it's really hot. Water.
I'm just gonna throw a roll at you, like a hard roll.
He gives you. He sticks a cup into the rice water and just
hot water.
Oh, that's hot. She'll go into the pantry and grab like a hard
hot
roll.
Temperature or hot spicy?
yeah, that's what he says.
I can just imagine like anime, like flames coming out of the mouth, running around.
And I just think of Clue flames on the side of my head. Have you ever seen Clue?
Flames. Ooh, can I come over and taste it?
Yeah.
I'm like,
He'll actually give you a spoon.
Henley will like pull out her water skin and just dump it.
that tastes good.
Is there anything else that you guys would like to discuss this evening?
I would like to
hold
go
on.
to sleep.
Okay, sleep in.
So Henley is just, I think she's almost in an anxiety moment where like she wants to like go walk out in the fresh air, but she knows she probably shouldn't, she's just kind of antsy.
Would it help if I prestidigitated a breeze on your face?
And I don't know, like she's just walking around. Like before, she was relaxed, trying to go to sleep. She's really tired, and now she's just walking around the room, just trying to relax, but like nervously playing with her hands, just trying to calm down, but not doing a very good job.
At this point, I think we also have food, which is like ham and rice and other vegetables
Peanut butter.
and
Kind of
stuff.
like a randomly peanut butter.
No. He just has a bag of peanut butter now.
He made earlier.
Just has a bag of peanut butter.
As long as that's okay.
Boudreaux is really fast at making food, is what she's saying. In a matter of 10 minutes, she's made peanut butter, or he's made peanut butter, some rice,
Yes.
and some cooked
Well, he just had to
jerky.
keep the water from the peanuts.
Yeah.
Cook the rice in there.
Peanut flavored rice.
Yeah.
Fenrir, did you want to add more to the conversation?
No, he's not going to add to this conversation, but after he knows this conversation's died down, then he'll go try and talk to Gorbin.
Okay. We'll head over to you then. Everybody else is settling down for the night? Yay?
Trying to.
Trying to.
Yeah, I'm gonna like settle down, but I'm gonna post up by the door.
Okay.
Just to kind of.
Keep an eye out.
I do think Henley will be like, I'm going to go outside for a minute. It's not that far. I'm not going to run away. I just need some fresh air.
I don't know. A bug might come and snatch you on.
Can we let that go already?
Oh, but for real, can we just let that die?
We did.
No, she died. We didn't let. No.
DM Dave's eyes say, nope, we can't.
It will live on in infamy.
Forever!
Okay, so Henley, you're going to take
She's just going to go sit outside the cave.
Henley, go sit outside the cave. Okay. Okay, I think that's where we'll end that. Fenrir, you're going in with Gorbin.
Yeah, so as I walk in, I kind of look at him and make sure he's still tied up. Or not tied up.
Roll.
Or if
roll.
he's even there.
So you walk in, he's still there. But unless you walk to the back side of him, you won't know if...
Okay, I'm going to because I want to know if he's still...
Okay. You do walk back there, and as you check the ropes, you notice that they are loosened.
Okay.
But as you come in, he stiffens up and everything. But you notice that his ropes are definitely a lot looser.
His wrists are probably raw, too, from the rope.
At this point, I'm going to tie his feet together.
Okay.
Together or to the chair?
To the chair. Tie his feet to the chair. Not very hard, but I just want to kind of talk to him and be like, look, what are the chances that you help us?
I'm not turning. I've already exposed myself too much. Once your leader guy said all the information that I've delivered, he'd let me walk out of here.
What if I let you go right now? What would you do?
I would get the heck out of here. There's no way I'm going back to Cloth Des group. I've given up too much information.
But how would he know you've given it up?
How else would you guys find out? He would know. He would eventually find out that all his guys here are dead except me.
How long do you think we have before he finds that out?
Really depends if you can trust that Natlynn.
Do you trust her?
No. You don't get into positions like hers by being honest and pretty.
So what would you do if you were in our shoes?
I'd walk away.
Do you think we stand any chance?
I don't.
Even with what you've seen us do with these...
Most of these guys that you defeated, they were hired men. They weren't even part of Cloth Des' original group. There was probably only about 4 of us that are from Cloth Des' group. And if you guys struggled against us, where half of them were just peasants off a street, do you really think you're going to handle the main force of Cloth Des?
What if we have the deed to the Mendrix company?
He kind of tilts his head. Then why are you here?
Do you think we stand a chance if we have the deed?
That's all they're waiting for.
And then they leave?
That I don't know. I haven't been filled in 100% of the plan. I just know that we're here for the deed.
Is Marlowe going to die after we give the deed? After they get the deed? Is Mendrick and Marlowe dead?
And he kind of hesitates for a minute. They'll be dead.
Are they already dead?
I don't know. Like I told your friends that were here talking to me just recently. They got scarecrows over there. They got a sorcerer over there. You guys don't have a chance. If you guys really want a chance, then probably that deed is your best shot. That's if you even have it. As far as I know, Mendrick's wife hasn't even showed up yet. But we'd probably find out eventually. Because I heard that the Hollow has gotten some new rations delivered to him. I don't know how true it is because they said it got delivered by goblins. But if she is here, we'll find out. Cloth Des may even know already.
I want to be chaotic evil right now. But that's what Zeb wants to do.
I mean,
I don't
that
think
Reese
Fenrir
did
would.
mess with you for a while.
I don't know, because you're kind of a loose cannon, yo. You kind of just do you.
Which personality are you using?
Oh, man.
It's Fen right
It's
now.
Fenrir. There's a new one.
Can I roll a perception check to make sure I see, to like understand if he's telling the truth?
Okay, yeah.
Let's
roll me an
do that.
inside check.
10.
10? You have, the way he's speaking, you have no reason to doubt him. Plus, this isn't the only time you've been told that the guys that were up here were just kind of minor league people. So with everything that he's saying, he's telling you don't have a chance. Maybe with the deed, but he's like, I don't think you have the deed. But if the deed is here, Cloth Des probably already knows about it.
Well, like this is like his thought process trying to get into Fenrir's head this whole time coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Is like he got knocked out, and so he was super nervous, right?
Okay.
And so he's been kind of acting a little out of character. He's been really nervous, really frightened, like kind of fearful. Mm-hmm. And then he goes down. You guys send him down there, right? He goes down.
Wait, nobody sent him down there. You sent yourself down there.
Well, right. So I went down there, but it was still like you have these big groups of guys. He's being this bard, like he's more or less fearful. He's tired. He's I mean, we haven't slept in a long time. We've been journeying.
You almost died.
Right, I almost died. And so then, like, he comes back and he hears this story about Iron Will that, you know, he's heard that name before. And, like, as Gorbin is telling him that they are going to fail and there's no hope, he just snapped.
Oh, that's fair.
Right? He's
It's
just
stress.
like, no,
Stress.
you're wrong. We're not going to fail. And here's why. And he lets out a scream and he starts hitting Gorbin.
Oh, okay. And I'm guessing this is a loud scream, right?
Yes. This is like,
okay.
ah! And he just starts wailing on him.
Okay, I'm sure you knock him down. He's still tied up to the chair, and falls to the side, and you're just wailing on him, and he's screaming as well. And that would
I'm
pretty
gonna
loud.
be
Roscoe
up
and Lila,
and
everybody would hear this.
on my way as fast as my little halfling feet will carry me.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, is everybody heading there then?
Henley's dashing.
Because you were at the entrance.
Mhm.
That's right.
Yeah. I think I'll look at my rice and ham, and then look to everybody running, and then I'll look back, and I'll hesitate a little bit, and I'll take my silver spoon and run down.
Okay. So Lila Garotha, you walk into this room, and you just see Fenrir just wailing on this archer.
I'm gonna try and tackle Fenny.
Okay. I'll give you advantage on this grapple. Lila, are you doing the same thing?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Just a strength roll.
I'll say since both of you are going after him, it's a pretty much automatic success. If it was just one, probably not, but two of you, I'm going to say you guys tackle Fenrir. You guys get him off of...
Well, both of them combined, I'm sure, is stronger than Fenrir.
Correct. That's why I'm just like, there's no need to roll if both of them are going to try Kate. Plus, he's not expecting him to come. So they kind of catch him off guard.
Right.
All that is why I'm not having them roll. Fenrir, you have your two friends on top of you. Are you going to try and get out, or what's going on?
When do we see? Will you let me know when she comes in?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, at this point, as he sees the familiar faces and he kind of like realizes what he's doing, he'll just stop.
Want it to be known that as you look at my face, it is not an angry face, but a very concerned, worried face for my friend.
Boudreaux, you're entering and you see those two on top of Fenrir.
Fenny, what is wrong? What is going on?
What in the swamp?
Boudreaux, check the archer, please.
Okay, and I check him. Medicine.
Medicine check. Henley, you're running in, and you see Boudreaux over by the archer. The archer is not looking good at all. Lila Garotha are on top of Fenrir.
What's going on?
That's a great question. What is going on?
Henley, help Boudreaux with the archer real quick, please.
You tell us, Fenny. We walked in and you were on top of him.
13.
Your hands and knuckles hurt, by the way, Fenrir.
They're probably bruised. Some
Yes.
skin is
Broken.
broken off.
As he looks down at his hands, he sees that they're broken, and he's like, "Wait, what did I do?
You were beating the crap out of this guy.
I mean,
We literally just pulled you off of him.
the last thing I remember, he was just telling us that we weren't going to succeed. That the guys up there are just with the sorcerer and Cortez and everything and
Okay, Boudreaux, what'd you get?
13 medicine check.
He's knocked out. He's still alive, but he's unconscious. But he looks very bad.
I look up at him and I go, he's okay. He hurt, but he okay. He just kind of looks concerned at Fenrir and looks at his hands too.
Let's let Fenny up.
Notices him.
Yeah. I thought we'd let Fenny up, like sit him up.
Yeah, so I'll let him up, but I'm going to not pull it out, but have my hand on one of my daggers.
Okay.
Just for a minute until I know the Fenrir is not going to jump me either.
That's real.
Hanley, noticing that Boudreaux has this handled and that he's okay, Hanley comes up behind Fenrir and just gives you like a hug. Just squeezes you because she knows exactly how that feels.
I think at this point he's kind of just like in shock, and so he's just gonna like accept it.
Doesn't really notice.
Well, he notices it, and he just like lets her hug him, and
Yeah.
just kind of stands. I guess lays there.
Sit. Well, I think
Or am
we
I
said
sitting
let him
up?
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
Imagine
I'm
you're
sitting up.
sitting on the ground.
So I'm sitting on the ground, and I feel like the hug come around me, and I just still continue sitting there.
Group hug on Fenrir.
Yeah, I just want to be sitting next to him.
I think that'll be a good time to wrap this episode up. Wow. That's an interesting twist. Didn't see that coming. Okay. Thank you guys so much for listening to Tomes of the Chaos Bard. Big shout out to D.A. Nichols for writing our songs and music. She wrote our theme song, and she also has written a TTRPG called Shields of Power. You can find that on drivethroughrpg.com. It's a TTRPG that she wrote herself, so if you're looking for a new system to try out, go try Shields of Power. Also shout out to, big thanks as well, to Monument Studios, freesound.org, Realmwalker, and Tabletop Audio for the additional sounds and music. I am DM Dave, and to the right I have
Fenrir.
Roscoe.
Natlynn Garotha.
Boudreaux.
And Henley.
And until next time, we unroll the scroll to tell the tale. Bye!
Stock is an S-T-O-C-K or S-T-A-L-K?
S-T-O-C-K.
Okay. I just want to make sure if it was inventory or creeping.
Yes.
Okay.